Welcome back to the channel and to our journey through the ranch method. Today we're covering the A, and that stands for assets. This is where real wealth begins. Residual income that we talked about last week is powerful, but if you want true freedom, you need to own things that grow in value and produce income. That's what separates the rich from the rest. So we're going to be covering in this video what assets are and why most people confuse them with income. The key difference between consumer and investors, why real estate is one of the best asset classes for entrepreneurs, and how I use network marketing income to buy assets and create a legacy wealth. Stick around until the end and I'll share a simple system I use to decide which assets to buy and when. Alright, what is an asset? Let's clear up the biggest misconception about wealth. Just because you make money doesn't mean you're building wealth. Most people earn income and spend it on liabilities. Alright, cars, clothes, travel, gadgets, the home that you live in. I understand the banks consider it as an asset, but when we're talking about assets, does it make you money? Does it provide you a check? Okay, so Robert Kiyosaki always talks about your home is not an asset. Even though the bank might look at it as an asset, but if it's not producing you income, it's an actual liability the way we look at things. So, any of those expenses you do is truly a liability and not an asset. Those things may look good, but they take the money out of your pocket every month. Okay, this is why we put a home as a liability. If you have a mortgage on it, you're the one that's paying for it, not a renter, and then they're covering the debt. You have to cover your own debt. So here's an asset is something that puts money in your pocket over and over again. Okay, examples of assets: rental real estate. So that's any real estate that you can lease out, whatever it is. Other businesses, as long as you're getting money from it. So you can invest in businesses, online businesses, other businesses, as long as it produces you money that's coming to you over and over again. Income producing land, farmland, orchards. We was just in orchard country a couple of days ago in Colorado. They have a lot of land that, when they go and pick the orchards and produce, they get their money back at that point. Intellectual property, courses, books, licensing deals. You get that. You could also put dividend paying stocks as an asset, but man, you have very limited control over that. You need to have things on there, but real estate is our focus here. An asset works harder than you ever could. It shows up for you every month, even when you don't. Okay, remember that. Okay, let's talk the consumer versus investor mindset. Okay, when most people get a raise or bonus, they think, how can I spend this? But wealthy people ask, how can I use this to buy something that pays me? Okay, consumers trade dollars for things. Investors trade dollars for assets. So the shift looks like this. Instead of buying a brand new truck, you buy a small rental property. Instead of spending $5,000 on vacation, you use the money as a down payment on a rental property or a business or something that's going to pay you back. Instead of cashing out your commissions, you reinvest them into cash flowing property. When you make this shift, everything changes. You stop living off of hustle and start living off the harvest. So you always need to remember, when you go out and let's say I want to get this new truck. Okay, how am I going to pay for that truck? Instead of using the money that I had to earn through my own time, why don't I look at, okay, Let's say I had $10,000 to put down on a new truck. Well, why don't I take that 10,000, put it in a rental property, and then have that money come back to have that property pay for my new truck. Robert Kiyosaki always says it's the best. If he wanted a new car or his new plane or whatever, he would go out and buy a property that would pay him to buy that things. Okay, look at it that way. What can I buy that will then buy that liability for me? See how that works? That's why it is on there. And that's why the ranch method is all about building your ranch one income producing post at a time. Let's talk about why real estate is the ultimate asset. I love good business, but when it comes long term, generational wealth, real estate is still king. Okay. Is it stable? Housing is always needed. It's appreciated. Value grows over time. It cash flows. You make money every single month. You need to make sure you're buying the property to make sure it cash flows and you're in a cash flow market. It's leverageable. You can use the bank's money. You can use other people's money as long as you're paying them back. You make sure you keep this legal. But it's leverageable and it has tax advantages. You can legally keep more of what you make. And this is the depreciation where you do it. And when you get ready to sell something, you can roll it over in 1031 and never have to pay taxes on it. So let's use this as an example. You buy a $200,000 duplex. You put down $20,000 using the money you got from your direct sales network marketing company. Your monthly rent for those two duplexes is $1,100 par, so you're getting $2,200. Let's say your mortgages and all of your expenses, insurance and all that, let's say that comes out to $1,400. Now your net cash flow is $800 per month. Over 10 years, it appreciates. The mortgage pays down and you gain equity. That's $800 per month for the rest of your life, and a property you can pass down to your kids. Or once it appreciates enough and you pay down, you can refinance it, pull your 10K, your 20K out that you put down for down payment or more, and buy something else. Let's say it has appreciated a lot, and you was able to pull out $100,000. Just saying that. Well, now you can go buy another $100,000. Down to buy another property. You have $100,000 to put down payment. Look how much bigger one you can get. But you don't have to pay taxes on that because it was a loan from an asset that's been producing. So these are the things that you need to know and how to do. I don't buy real estate for status. I buy it for freedom. And I use network marketing to fund these purchases. Okay. This is why I love network marketing, these professional direct sales companies, because they pay you nice commissions where you can get down payments quite quickly. So from residual income to asset building, here's how I personally structure this inside my ranch strategy. 100% of my network marketing commissions go into 3 buckets: taxes and reserves, business growth, my team's ads, and then majority of it goes into my asset fund to purchase our next property, to reinvest it. Okay, when the asset fund gets to a down payment, I buy another property. So we're always looking. I'm always getting deals sent to me because we usually invest into syndications that they do this. It's either $100,000, $250,000, $500,000 that we have to put in. So we like saving up for this stuff, but it doesn't take us too long to get the very minimal of $100,000 from our network marketing company. So remember this. This is how you compound freedom. Okay. when you have a network marketing, it can grow fast. The cash is constantly coming into you if you grow it rightly and you have the right team with you. Assets grow slowly, but they last forever. So I use fast money coming into me because we build a nice direct sales company. The cash is consistent. I do it in assets that grow slowly, but that last forever. The goal isn't just to earn big, but it's to own big, all right? Here's the 3 things that I really look at when I'm looking at assets, okay? Before I buy anything, I really run through these 3 questions that we're looking at. Does it cash flow? If it bleeds cash, it's not freedom. It's a burden. Is it a truly passive investment? Now, because can it be outsourced? This is why we talked about before of having a property manager company that's running these things and you're just managing the property manager, so they have the handymans. You don't want to be running around there trying to collect checks and all that stuff because you don't really want to create yourself another job. I just want to manage it, and I want somebody else to do all the day-to-day stuff. And then the third thing is, can I leverage it later? Refinance, 1031, scale it. I want something that grows and gives options. I don't want to become a liability. Like I said, assets should create options and not obligations. Whether it's a house, short-term rental, even a business, or even big rental apartment complexes. Ask yourself, is this making me money or costing me time? So these are the things you have to really think about. Everybody likes vacations, everybody likes having the new latest cars, but if you look at a lot of those people, they don't have true wealth. They're trading their time for money instead of having money sent to them because they have income producing properties. So if you want to live like the wealthy, you have to think like the wealthy. And that means owning things that work harder than you ever could. All right? It's not about what you earn. It's about what you own. Residuals make you free. Assets keep you free. Comment below on what's the first or next asset you acquire. What's stopping you from owning something that pays out? Let me know. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next week, we're diving into the inn and the ranch method, network marketing. And I'll show you how I stopped doing all the work and started earning from duplication. All right. Remember to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I share a lot of things on that stuff. Behind the scenes stuff, my latest things I'm doing, everything like that is really on my Facebook and Instagram. All right. Stack those assets, cowboys. Your future family will thank you. God bless you. We'll see you next week.